Hi, I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and I'm here with a Bourgeois L-DBO. The L-DBO is a guitar that Dana Bourgeois and his team in Lewiston, Maine, introduced back in 2016, and they first introduced it with a very special limited edition that was called the L-DBO Presentation Limited Edition, and we demoed that guitar back when it came out in late 2016. It was an instrument that had very elaborate appointments, Brazilian rosewood back and sides, kind of an Ivoroid fingerboard. And of course, after introducing the general model, with that limited edition, the L-DBO has also made it into Bourgeois' standard line of models, and the guitar that I have here is a great example of that. The L-DBO is of course inspired by the classic L-00 design from the 1930s. Those guitars were available in several different configurations and some different woods. And the same is true with these Bourgeois L-DBOs, which can be ordered with lots of different wood combinations. I mentioned that the limited edition one we demoed earlier had Brazilian rosewood back and side. This particular one, which was provided to us by Schoenberg Guitars here in Tiburon, California, has beautiful maple back and sides, and that is something that you might have also found on certain vintage L-00s. Really very beautiful set of wood, and it's really complemented with a slightly stained finish, which also again complements the sunburst finish of the top. Now the top of this guitar is Adirondack spruce, and I should mention that both the top and the maple back and sides are torrefied, aged by giving it a heat treatment, which is something that Bourgeois really kind of pioneered and has done a lot of in the last few years. But like all Bourgeois guitars, this L-DBO is not by design a completely 100% accurate reproduction of a vintage guitar. Bourgeois always puts his own elements in terms of design and construction into his guitars, so even though outwardly they might look like they are copies, shall we say, of a certain guitar, they really aren't in terms of their overall construction. This guitar, of course, has Dana Bourgeois' own neck joint. There's lots of different kind of construction details that you would find in other Bourgeois guitars, and of course it's voiced the way a Bourgeois guitar would be voiced. So while overall the guitar has the kind of L-00 type quality, to me it sounds perhaps a little bit richer, a little more balanced than some vintage L-00s that I've played, and really creates a beautiful voice that kind of blends the best of the vintage and kind of a more modern voice into one instrument. I mentioned the body woods, the maple back and sides, and the spruce top. The guitar has a mahogany neck. It's a Ziricody fingerboard, really quite beautiful, with what Bourgeois calls micro dot position markers. The guitar has Ivoroid purfling and binding, very simple but beautiful 2-ring Ivoroid rosette, kind of a vintage looking pickguard, and just a very classy design all the way around. The instrument has open back Waverly tuners with white buttons. It's got a rectangular style bridge. I should also mention that this particular one was ordered with hide glue construction all the way around. It's also quite light, and just craftsmanship wise, again, lives up to the standards that Bourgeois and his team are known for. Really pretty much perfect all the way around, both on the inside and the outside of the guitar. Now, L-00s are used in a lot of different styles. You heard me play it finger style in drop D tuning earlier. Of course, it also sounds beautiful, especially with the maple back and sides, giving it a little bit of a punch that you might expect from an arch top, perhaps. Great definition there. The same can be said of single note lines. And even if I'm just kind of strumming it the way I might accompany a singer or something like that. It's a guitar that really would fit into a lot of musical situations. It doesn't have an overbearing bass or woofiness, and a beautiful definition that I find works well in a solo guitar context and also would lend itself to playing more of an ensemble situation. So great guitars, as I mentioned earlier, the L-DBO line is available in a lot of different wood combinations. So if maple and Adirondack isn't what you're looking for, definitely check them out. They also can be ordered in mahogany, rosewoods, all kinds of different combinations. And this particular guitar has a neck width of 1 3/4 inches, so quite roomy. But again, Bourgeois is at its heart a custom shop, and lots of different configurations could be available of this guitar. As I mentioned earlier, this particular guitar came to us from Schoenberg Guitars in Tiburon, California. We thank them for that. But of course, Bourgeois does have dealers all over the country, so there's a good chance that you could check one of these out, or at least one very similar to this, at one of those dealers and see what you think of it for yourself. So my name is Teja Gerken. We hope you come back here to Peghead Nation for more gear demos, and we see you soon. Thank you.